this the hardest you ever heard? Ain't this the hardest you ever heard? Bass make my face hurt. Shake break my framework when the bass jerk like quick earth. Oh my god. Just like that.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Sorry I'm running a little late. Was having a heart-to-heart with the family. Plus, had dinner a little late today. Need to make sure there's nothing in my teeth. But yeah, I'm on. It's all good. So let's get into it. Let me see if I can get the. Always have a problem with this. We'll see though. Get the link out there for everybody. Let's get into it. So there's a lot to talk about right now. Saquon Barkley. I was going to get into the Kadarius Toney thing, but why? Why give him my time? Why give him any of our time right now? Bunch of crap, if you ask me, anyway. I had a few drinks, so I might be a little more open than I usually am. But again, hope everybody's doing well. It's Wednesday night. Today is the Wednesday the 19th, 2023. I'm going to push for a 2-hour show tonight. Laid off from work yet again. The ins and outs of being a union worker. But yeah, I'll probably be on until about 10, assuming we get a bunch of people in here who want to check it out. So let's get into it. We're going to talk Saquon Barkley. Jaden, I see you in the back. We'll get to it 1 second. Hey, Austin, I see you, brother. Everything's well. Everything is good. Had an episode this past Sunday, but it's for another show, not about sports. But let's get into the Giants. So Saquon Barkley and the Giants didn't come to an agreement. Now, I've been saying this since Monday. I don't blame the Giants. I don't blame Saquon. Saquon wants to get his money. The Giants want to keep it within reason. I do believe the Giants submitted a fair offer back in the bye week of last season. But after watching, I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but Saquon's interview with the two guys, it was more of a financial / Bitcoin interview. But I didn't get through the whole thing. Something came up, whatever. But what I got out of what I saw was, and again, these are coming from Saquon's words, and I'm paraphrasing for the most part. He's basically saying that, even though things may not go right, and again, this interview was before, the deadline actually came and went. He doesn't see himself holding out. We'll find that out next week when they report to camp. Training camp, that is. But I don't see Saquon sitting out. I just think because of the fact that he didn't sign, he didn't like the money, which means he wants money. Just rightfully so to anybody. I mean, again, you want to look at Le'Veon Bell, he'll tell you he messed up. So Saquon, I don't think he's gonna hold out that long. I think he'll be here for training camp. I look at it this way. I understand you're trying to prove a point. And by not signing, to me, that's point proven enough. But if you know you're going to go through this season, you're tagged, you're going to make the $10 million regardless, why not show up? Why not just make yourself look better? You said in that interview yourself, Saquon, that a running back's life expectancy in the NFL is literally 2 to 3 years. I would say 4 to 5, but given what Saquon has given us, and again, could be part of the reason the Giants didn't go up too much is because of his injury history. Whether it's a fluke injury or not, because let's face facts here. Technically, they're all fluke injuries. It's not like a player is going out to injure himself, period. So, having said that, I truly believe that at the very start, I believe it starts on the 26th, which is next week, I think Saquon will be there from day one. He said it himself on that podcast that he wants to show that he's worth the money he's asking for. And because I do firmly believe that Saquon does want to be a Giant for life. I do firmly believe that Saquon loves his teammates. I don't think he wants to leave the Giants. I don't think he would have even negotiated that hard. Well, I could be wrong on that because they did franchise tag him. But I think if he would have let the organization know that, hey, I want to test the market. I want to see if I can get a trade. I want to see if you guys. And again, this is why the Giants were absolutely 110% right in tagging him. Because in doing that, he can't talk to anybody else. He can't have another team come at him. I do believe he was tagged with the non-exclusive tag, which means that the Giants could potentially sign him and trade him, which I don't think is going to happen. Because let's face facts here. I want Saquon back. I'm sure they want Saquon back. And I believe that Saquon wants to be back. And Saquon knows that his time is coming short. In that interview, he basically said that, they could tag me this year, which they've already done, but they could also tag me next year, which I believe in Saquon's mind means a lot. He understands that the Giants want him. But I think the part that's missed on him and his team is the Giants are going to pay him above and beyond. I understand that Saquon, is saying, we don't know how true it is because the actual numbers of the final offers never came out. He's saying he's not trying to break the bank. I want to believe him. But the part that leads me not to believe him is the 12.5 that the Giants are. And okay, I'm going back to the interview. So let me just say what he said. When the 12.5 was put out there, they declined it. It was the bye week. And the reason he said that he declined it is because he believed that it was the Giants' way of saying, this is a fair offer at the moment, but we don't want to get to the offseason where things could go a different way. Meaning there was a chance that it could have, the running back position could have gone higher. It did, fortunately for the Giants. That's why I believe from the get-go and even now that the Giants have held the cards. Rafael, I see you in the background, bro. So having said that, that's why I don't blame Saquon. And the biggest part of why I don't blame Saquon for wanting his money is I'm with him. I believe the running back market and position are highly underrated, are highly underpaid. $8 to $9 million, in my opinion, is a crock of shit. It's messed up to the players that constantly beat themselves up. We all know that that quarterbacks get beat up. We all know that offensive linemen get beat up. But in my opinion, the offensive line is the only people that get beat up more than Saquon, more than a running back, I should say. So for that alone, with the running back being basically abused, with the fact that the running back's life expectancy is so low, especially compared to that of a quarterback. So yeah, the market right now for a quarterback is $35 million. And I'm sure a lot of fans out there would be bitching like they are right now going, Daniel Jones got paid too much. I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the face. Daniel Jones got paid what he should have gotten paid. Maybe a little more. Because again, in the market, quarterback should have got 35. The 40, I think, was to let the Giants letting him know that you are our guy. At least for the next 2 years. Which leads me to another situation. I'm getting sick and tired of Giants fans blaming Daniel Jones for Saquon not getting his bag. I think that's bullshit. Daniel Jones did what Daniel Jones did for himself. The Giants thought that was fair. Daniel Jones and his camp thought that was fair, and they came to an agreement. And here's why it pisses me off that Giants fans are going off about Daniel Jones' contract. Nobody's saying nothing about Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence got a bag. Why isn't anybody saying, well, why didn't Dexter Lawrence step down and leave some money for Saquon? Nobody's asking that. And another thing I want to bring up, which Sneaky won't bring up on his show because it opens up doors that nobody wants to open. But I'm that guy, so I'm going to open up this door. And it may come back to bite me in the ass, but at this point, I don't care. Because what I see is People that want to bring in the race card can kiss my fucking ass. Sorry. I don't want to be that vulgar. I try not to drop the F-bomb on here, but that it hurts me that is what we've stooped to. Especially considering you want to say that Saquon didn't get paid because he's black. Sorry, I revert back to Dexter Lawrence. I think he got paid very well, and I think he'll tell you he was paid very well. So you can take that race card thing and stick it up your ass as far as I'm concerned. I'm sick of that. There was actually a guy, I believe on Facebook, his literal words were, I now understand why Brian Flores did what he did. Why? Because he's a fucking idiot? Because that's what the fact is. Now, I'm white. You can sit here and say all you want. You're white. You're going to agree with blah, 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 blah. You don't know me, so you can't tell me that I'm going to believe what I'm going to believe. I grew up in Trenton, New Jersey. Most people would consider an urban to ghetto city. All of, and I'm not kidding you at all of the friends that I grew up with, I can't remember a white friend that was close. I had white friends, don't get me wrong. But my closest friends, my best friend today is Puerto Rican. Has been for years, over 30 years. Two of the guys that I grew up with that are the reason, part of the reason of who I am today, are black. Have I been involved in racism? 110%. And whether you want to believe it or not, I don't fucking care. Here's how I was involved in it. Just a quick little story. My boys, Brian and Nick, who I love to death, God bless them both. My boy Brian wrote a book. My boy Nick is living his life out in Missouri. And I love these guys to death. Angel still lives close enough to where I see him. Ray Salsa Elisea. Angel Elisea. These are family to me. They're not just friends. They're family. Brian and Nick are family. I would die for these guys. But where a lot of yous are saying black and white, I don't see that with these guys. These are my family. I don't give a fuck about the color of your skin. And in fact, I shit on most white people because of it. Because I do have some religious background to me. I do believe that the Bible represents, no matter what Bible you read, that Jesus Christ is represented as a golden skin, which refers to a tan, and hair of wool. This is not wool hair. In fact, the people who have hair closely related to wool are black folks. I'm not trying to get off a topic here, but I want people to understand it's not a black and white thing. And it's not a Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley thing. It's a position thing. That's all it is. And again, I'm going to keep saying it. I do believe that Saquon and the running back position is highly, extremely undervalued. But I can't blame the Giants because where the market is. And I think that the Giants offer, the only one that's been confirmed, the $12.5 million, at the time was very, very, very fair. Right now, I would say it was maybe a little low. And I've said this, and I'm going to stick with this till I'm blue in the face. I know I use that term a lot, but I think that right now that the running back position is highly, highly underpaid. That's why I sit here and I want to say, and I will say, that my only thing that I'm upset about is that they didn't get a deal done. I'm not upset with Saquon and his camp. I'm not upset with Joe Shane and John Mara and the Giants organization and their camps. I'm not. How can I be? I'm a Giants fan first. If things went bitter between Saquon and the Giants and Saquon moved on, God bless him. I love him. Wish he would have stayed a Giant, but I'm a Giants fan. Period. And that's the way I roll. Somebody wrote, so Jesus is black? I can't confirm nor deny that, but based off of the parts of the Bible that I've read, it leans towards that. I would say I'm 60% firm in that belief. Croc, not cock. Did I say cock? All right, there's something for you guys to laugh at. Donovan, what's up, brother? It's nice to see that I'm actually seeing people's names coming from Facebook. It's nice to see that I got 10 people watching me now. It's nice to see that my opinion does count and matter. This is probably the most people I've had on at one time. And to me, that means that, even if you don't believe in everything I'm saying, that you're intrigued enough to want to watch. And I appreciate that. Listen, I'm no sneaky G-man, but he's my goal. He's my guy and he's my goal. I want to be like Sneaky. Can't afford everything that he does. Can't afford to get Giants tickets, so I get them when I can, how I can. I would love to go to Giants games continuously, but if I'm being 100% with myself and you guys, the only reason I'd rather watch it at home seems a little more exciting when you get the commentary. Like, don't get me wrong, being around the fans and being at the games, it's very exciting, but it's just a little more exciting when you can hear the commentary. I love listening to Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. I love listening to Troy Aikman. I love listening to those guys. Joe Buck is an ass, in my opinion, but, he's a good ass. He's a nice guy. But to me, he seems like Stephen A. Smith when he talks about football. Stephen A., love you to death, brother. My wife loves you on General Hospital. For those of you that don't know, he does a part-time gig on General Hospital, which is a soap opera. But stick to basketball, bro. Let the pros deal with football. So with that, guys, I'm going to get into it. I see I got a few people backstage. I got DZ, which is my buddy and probably one of my biggest supporters, Jaden. I have El Capitone, Raphael, and probably one of the coolest Cowboy fans you're ever going to meet. Chris, I do love you. But one of the coolest Cowboy fans you're going to meet, Dash. I'll get to El Capitone and Dash. Jaden was the first one on, so let's see what he's got to say today. Jaden, what's up, buddy?
Yo, what's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain.
Good. So apparently I had a lot to say for my opening monologue. Have anything to rebut it, or, what do you agree with? What are your thoughts on the whole Saquon thing? Let's hear it, brother.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, it's Saquon. Like, I don't blame both sides. As I said last night on Sneaky's show, like, I don't blame both sides for doing anything. For Joe Shane and his team not wanting to pay Saquon, and Saquon wanting more money. It's just like, me, like, when you want to raise in your job, I guarantee it. Any day you
Right.
take it. So, like, it's just the running backs are undervalued and they get beat up. Like almost the most on the team besides O-line and whatever. So they do deserve more money. It's just that's not how the market works right now, and there's not much the Giants can do. And I think that's what Saquon has to realize. Like, it's not necessarily the Giants' fault. Take it up with the commissioner and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's as I said last night. It's no one's fault. It's just sucks how it is.
Right. Donovan, I appreciate you, brother. I just want to say that I don't see Barkley sitting out this year. I agree. But if he does, then let him go. In my opinion, it's easier said than done. He didn't really want to be a Giant. I think he does. I think that's a little harsh. And I may be wrong. You may be right on that. But I think he wants to be a Giant. I don't see why he wouldn't want to be. And then he said, and it's Giants first, player second. 100%. Everybody that'll come on the show here will tell you that I've always said I'm a fan of the name on the front of the jersey before I'm a fan of the name on the back of the jersey. That's just who I am. So Donovan, I appreciate your input there. So go ahead, Jaden. Tell me, keep going, brother.
No, yeah. I love Saquon. I have his jersey and everything. It's just,
so do I.
The color. I have the color rush one too. It's like my favorite one.
The color rush one is the white one, right?
Yeah, it's like that white, like blue.
Yeah, I said offhand yesterday that I have the color rush for the Kayvon Thibodeau on Sneaky Show. I actually have the blue, red, white, and blue one. You know, the blue one with the white and red sleeves and neck and collar.
Right.
I don't think that's considered the color rush. I think that's more of the throwback
Mm-hmm.
or the classic, if you will.
Right.
But yeah. Again, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to bring that up.
No, yeah. It's just I'm also glad the drum is basically over for the most part. Besides on a tag or not, that's still unknown, of course. But I obviously truly believe he will, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he's going to show up to camp, and I truly want to believe. And until I'm proven different, I believe he will show up day one. I just can't see him not doing that. He clearly wants to prove his point that he's worth that money, and I think he wants to prove that. So I do believe he'll come into the season with no animosity. He knows he's going to play and be Saquon, be the Saquon that we all know and love. Somebody wrote, and again, I apologize, guys. In some situations where you come on Facebook and you put your comments in, I think there's some kind of permission you have to give to Facebook through Yard or through StreamYard, where you have to give them some sort of permission before they promote your name and put your name up. So again, I apologize for who this is. If you want to tell me who it is and put your name in the comment, I will give you all the credit in the world. But you make a good point here. Bell tried that shit and it failed by sitting out the remainder. It literally costed him his season. And again, I appreciate that, whoever you are. Again, I want to give you credit. So if you want to put your name in there, I'll be sure and bring it up for everybody to see. Oh, it's John. All right. John is a follower of mine. One of the followers of mine, and I hate saying followers. I don't like saying fans. You guys are all like family to me. But anyway, John is one of the guys that I really love going back and forth with, because he'll tell me how he feels, whether he agrees with me or not. And I really appreciate that. And he does it in such a professional manner to where he's not calling me a clown. He's not disregarding how I feel about things. And that's what being a Giants fan and a fan overall is about. And believe me, I'm learning to love every hate I get, because you know what? Everybody that comments on my stuff, everybody that watches just to hate on me is doing me a credit. There is no disservice there, because when Facebook and all these other platforms look at the algorithms, because that's what they look at, they're going to see that I'm followed and that I'm loved. So I appreciate all my haters just as much as the people who follow me. But John, back to what you're saying, and I'm with you. He said, I believe if Barkley knew the market or knows the market, he can't blame the Giants. And you know what? It's funny because I don't think he does. I just think, and he said in that interview with the guys that were doing the Bitcoin/finance interview, he literally said that, he's not going to hold it against it. He could literally say, fuck the Giants and fuck my teammates. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he knows it's business, and he mentioned that as well, that he's going to treat it as a business. So I truly believe he'll go into the season. I think he'll shake Joe Shane's hand. I think they're going to, be rational about it. They're going to just move on, because that's what they need to do, at least till the end of the season, when they can restrike these negotiations again. What else? We got a couple more people. Never, you're a G bro to me, John. I appreciate that, brother. It's my here. Think he's going to show up late. Oh, do I think Saquon's going to show up late? No. Based on what I've heard from him, and again, it could all be pandering. But in my opinion, I think I hope, I think, and I believe that Saquon will be there on the 26th when camp opens. If he does, I don't see him holding out the whole camp, because he knows that in order to be part of this team this year, he's going to have to go into it thinking, I gotta get familiar with these new teammates. I gotta have some kind of camaraderie with these new teammates to make this work. So based on who I believe Saquon to be, I think he'll show up. If not the first week, or if not the first day, sometime in the first week, I think he'll be there. I don't see him waiting for week one, because if he waits for week one, he's not going to be able to play week one. And I do believe the fact that he wants to be a Giant, he wants to play the Cowboys. I want him to play against the Cowboys. I want to see the full 110% potential of what this team will look like in the future with Saquon. I don't want to see him without Saquon. I believe that we could move on if we had to, but I do believe that Saquon makes this team better. It's just how it is. Robert says, I think Saquon's going to show up when, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to show up first day of camp. I say first week or second week. And you may be right about that. But based on what I've been hearing from Saquon's lips himself, and again, he could be pandering. I'm not going to hold that to gospel, but it sounds like he wants to be there day one. Mm-hmm. John says that I think he comes after week one. And I'm okay with that too. I'm absolutely okay with that. As long as he gets here with enough time to create some camaraderie. And don't get me wrong, in the offseason, he has trained with some of these guys. So, but I think he wants to create that team camaraderie with everyone, because we all know facts here. If you don't gel with your team, doesn't matter how many, star athletes you have on your team, doesn't always work. A good example is the Philadelphia Eagles when they had the dream team. Vince Young was the quarterback in the prime of his career. Who else did they? I mean, they had a bunch of top-notch guys, and they did next to nothing. Michael Vick was their. Was Michael Vick there? No, it ended up being for Vince Young, and Vince Young had a couple good years there, but it wasn't that dream team that everybody talked about. So, and I think a lot of that had to do with there was no camaraderie there. Everybody wanted to be a superstar, and I think the guys on this team want to be a team first. So. Jaden, man, I appreciate you coming on. Any last thoughts before I bring in somebody else?
I mean, I'm really excited for the season to start. As you said, I really want Saquon to play week one so I can rub it. And I want to kick their ass week one, so I can rub it in my face for my dad and stuff because he's a Cowboys fan. So, I want to. So I hope Saquon. I don't know. I still don't like as Sneaky said. I don't know if Saquon should be doing all these interviews though, because you know how the media is gonna be to him and flip his words and all that stuff. But it is what it is. As long as he knows how to talk and stuff, it'll be fine. But other than that, I can't wait for the season to start. I'm tired of watching the Yankees right now, so it's just.
Yeah, the Yankees are a little tough. So, quick change of what we're talking about here. So I'm a Yankees fan. Jaden's a Yankees fan. I have a bunch of family members that are Mets fans, and one of them wrote, well, at least we're not in last place. And of course I had to come back. And of course I came back with, well, you're right. You're not in last place, but even in last place, our record is still better than yours. So, all right, Jaden, man, I appreciate you, brother. I'll either see you tomorrow on Sneaky Show, or I'll see you next week on mine or on Sneaky's, because Sneaky does Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
But again, brother, I thank you for coming in. I appreciate you all the time. Again, you're definitely one of my biggest supporters, man, and I love you to death.
I was definitely watching Clary while I was before. Like I figured I'll watch Clary OG while I wait for Ant, and then it's 8:00, and I'm like, oh, is he having a show or not?
Yeah, I was having a heart-to-heart with the family. More of my mental health issues, which I'm thinking about maybe doing a mental health show, at least an hour, maybe once a week, once a month, something like that. But again, I think it'll help me because I do have mental health issues. So for those of you guys that don't know, I was recently diagnosed with bipolar 2. And a lot of people think that bipolar is like you go from 0 to 60 in a snap of the fingers. It's not. Right. For me, bipolar 2 means that my highs are really high and my lows are really low. There's almost no in between. So when I get really mad, it's really low. When I'm really happy, it's really high. So that's just a little insight of what my bipolar disorder goes through. So again, I appreciate you, Jaden. I appreciate everybody that comes and watches the show. I try to get as much information as I can on a weekly basis. With that, brother, if you have nothing else, man, I'm going to say good night to you.
I have one more thing.
Go ahead.
So, you know how you're laid off of work, how sometimes with how your job is. I know I said this, I think was our last time you had the show. Like I think you really should get into gaming. It's a good kill timer, man. Like even if you play for an hour a day, man, dude. And you know what? As you said, it really it's proven to help mental health. Depending, just don't play stressful games. I guess avoid those. But whatever. It does help mental health. I've battled addiction with gaming, but it's still my number one hobby, and I know how to control it. So yeah. But
No,
that's
I definitely appreciate it, but here's the difference. You're quite a bit younger than I am, and at 50 years old, listen, at 50 years old, I agree with you. I don't think my wife will. She might have a little different of opinion.
Well, my career is going to be in gaming, so it's going to be different for me as well. Like that's
There you go.
But
you might meet yourself a nice gamer girl.
I hope.
All right, brother, man. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Have a good night, man. I'll talk to you.
You too.
Later. Peace.
Later.
All right. So Jaden's definitely one of the guys that supports me nonstop. Let me get in a couple comments before I bring in El Capitan. Here we go. Donovan says I can be I can be petty. So if he did sit out, which like I said, I don't think he would. I don't either. I'd tag him again and see if he sits again. Again, I don't think he'll sit. I think he wants to be part of the team, regardless of whether he's getting paid properly or not, because, again, he's getting in his later stages of his career. So I do think he wants to get paid regardless. And, again, we know next year it's going to be at, up to $12 million for the tag, so it's a little more than this year. But, again, I don't believe he's going to sit either. I think this is John. If I'm not, I apologize. Let me know who this is. It says, I think they will work out before next season on the contract. Okay. So I think you might know this, which based on the way you word it, you know it. So for everybody that doesn't know, technically Saquon doesn't have to report till at least November. I think it's November 14th. I could be wrong. So he can say up until November 14th, I'm not playing. He absolutely could. Again, I don't think he will, but that's just the way the tag works out. However, what I'm getting into is with the tag and them coming to no agreement, the tag stands. A, he has to sign it. And B, assuming he does sign it, the Giants, well, whether he signs it or not, the Giants and Saquon, their camps, cannot talk to each other till the season is over. Now, when I say season is over, I'm assuming that's after the Super Bowl. So if the Giants don't make the Super Bowl, a lot of people believe, they can talk the minute their season ends. No, it's the minute the NFL season is over. That's what I believe. What's that? I think they will work out before next season on the contract. I hope so. I would have said that this year, but I didn't want to say it out loud, and thank God I didn't because I would have looked stupid. Robinson sucks, or Robson sucks and is washed up. Let me know who you're talking about because I have no clue with that one. Yes, it is. Robert, you answered that while I was talking, so I don't know to what you were. Oh, okay. Oh, all right, Rodon. I'm sorry. I'm with you. I don't want to say he's washed up because he could get better, but I'm with you, man. It's Brian Cashman making another stupid ass mistake, paying a guy like that and turning to crap. So again, I appreciate the Rodon bum ass. Yeah, absolutely. And Robert's confirming what I said that Saquon technically doesn't have to report and sign his tag till November 14th. So we get washed up players is what he's saying now. So I agree. But back to the Giants and your other teams, if you'd like. Let's bring on Rafael El Capitan. What's up, brother?
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm very good.
So let's get into it, bro. What do you got for me today?
Okay, so right now I have so many things about it because right now for the Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley contract, I gotta tell you to everybody else because the running back market is still getting strong. But how it is going to point out about the organization because in that case of Josh Jacobs, he didn't have it as an extension because the organization they wanted to go for go for, I don't know. It's something like anything could do anything better.
Right.
But the issue about it, because I know that I just set it up for Josh Jacobs. They need to pay that man because he deserves like a better pay, but because of the performance and everything. But I think there's something wrong for the organization. I think there's something wrong about the organization to not have it like an extension or pay to Josh Jacobs, and that's a because it's not the same with Saquon Barkley. It's not the same with
Right.
Saquon Barkley because they have a lot of difference on it.
Right. And I agree with you. I don't necessarily know the whole situation with Josh Jacobs and the Vegas Raiders. But based on the players they do have, with the exception, and I'm not a big I like Jimmy G, but I'm not a big believer in him. Um, with the exception of Devontae Adams, I think you gotta pay Josh Jacobs. And I'm with him. He's probably one of the running backs that I'm 100% behind him going, you know what? They could have gave him more than that.
Exactly, exactly. And just a little bit quicker because right now I had to go to see it. One of my brothers, because right now for the see for the linebacker that I just got it for everything. I
Mhm.
mean, they have could have it a lot bigger impact between Luke Masterson, Devon Diablo, and Robert Spillane because we had to focus all about all about the defense, which is terrifically everything good about it. Because not only they just pay it like a man like Josh Jacobs, but also they need to focus all about the defense and the offense because that's what they need it for.
Right, right. John, I'm going to assume this is you, unless you tell me who it's somebody different. He's basically asking, did Pollard and Dallas work out a deal? I don't know. I will be bringing Dash on in a minute, who is a Cowboys fan, and he knows more. But as far as I know right now, I don't think anything has been done. I don't think there is a deal in place, and I don't think he signed it. So I think Tony Pollard is in the same boat with Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley. But
Yeah,
again, when I bring Dash on, we can get into it and ask him that. Pollard didn't work a deal, just signed the tag. All right, so Pollard did sign the tag. So I believe he has to report because it's signed. I think he has to report to training camp. I don't think he can sit out at all. But go ahead, Rafael, back to you.
yeah. Then of course, for last thing about it because right now it's very hard to have to explain it because there's most years that the running back market has been solid for years, and right now they have running backs that have to support it to Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, and Tony Pollard for not having like a good time. But like it again because the market has been crashing for all those years, and
Right.
of course my biggest concern right now because we need to build all that up for that offense and the defense because that's what it needed for. And before I leave right now, because and I just put the link of the link of the private chat because right now the I just wanted to tell you that's like that's very personal because last Saturday night after doing like a live stream, I received some bad news because my grandfather he got he got COVID-19
Oh,
and
sorry to hear that.
is right now at the hospital. So I just put the link in the chat and the private chat. So any person who can donate it, any person who can send us prayers, that will be welcome because I just put the link in the private chat. So whatever
Yeah, I
you
saw that.
whatever you can donate it, whatever you can send prayers, that will be great for my grandfather because we just need the help to my grandpa Raphael to be the COVID-19 and of course the kid to bring him back
Yeah.
to
Yeah, my family and I this past week, and a lot of us believe we're not 100% on it. Um, we're receiving symptoms of the new variant. So a bunch of us, without scratching our asses and rubbing our eyes, ended up with pink eye. Some of us with pink eye in both eyes. I wasn't one of them. And some of us got a little sick. Now, fortunately for me, my illness was diagnosed as an upper respiratory infection, and the reason I know that that's what it was is because the medicines they gave me worked within days. So I don't have a problem with that. Everybody else that may have that variant, I think my cousins were listed as having strep throat, and the antibiotics they gave them didn't work at all. So we believe that it could have been the new variant of COVID. Um, and again, I hope your grandfather gets better very quickly. I have to keep out, an eye out for my wife, because for people that don't know, my wife has multiple sclerosis. So she's definitely one of those people that, can be highly affected by COVID. So we try and make sure we do the right things to, get her checked out when something goes wrong. So again, prayers out to your grandfather, and I hope everything works out with that. And I'll actually, you know what? I'll actually go now and see if I can post that your link. Copy. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. So if anybody wants to donate or, put it in there, here we go. There we go. All right, so if you guys see that, that's for Raphael's grandfather. If you want to send a little money to help them out with the bills and everything, they'll be more than happy and appreciative of you guys sending that stuff out. Till then, we got Robert, sending prayers to you and your family. Appreciate it. Donovan, prayers for your family, Raphael. So we definitely have some people in here to, appreciate you. But anything else, man? Any last words before I move on to the next guest?
Any last words? I just wanted to say salute to Ant, and of course, I was able to do I was able to jump in with Sneaky G-Man, but I had to wait until tomorrow to speak.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. And I've been watching a lot of your TikToks, man. They're so funny, dude. They're getting so much funnier, dude. You're doing a great job, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you. And of course,
till tomorrow night, I'll see you on Sneaky Show.
All right.
Salute to the captain, baby. Have a good night, brother.
Have a good.
All right, he removed himself. Mike, I see you in the background. Positive Philly. I'm gonna get to Dash next because Dash was here before you. Try to get with everybody. Dash, what's going on, brother?
Good. How about you?
Good, man. I'm hanging in there. So, what's the news on Tony Pollard? Let's try and get that out of the way.
For me, let me back up real quick. So,
go ahead.
I haven't been up with the Cowboys news lately because I have a summer intern.
Oh, okay.
And I'm also trying to build my college schedule. And of course, whenever you get back home, you want to eat, then go to sleep.
Nah, I gotcha. I agree.
Yeah. So, and plus with traffic and everything. So, I have not been with the Cowboys news lately.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah. So, I did look at the Tony Pollard, and yeah, they did not get to agreement, but he did sign a franchise tag.
Okay. So, I do believe that means he has to be there day one.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. That's cool, man. At least, you're definitely getting your guy back. We still got to worry about Saquon until he actually signs the tag.
But
we'll see what happens.
So during work, I got notifications / tweets from the Cowboys saying Zach Martin got a 99 club on Madden, and then I come home and then I see what's that? The Cowboys huddle thing from Armando that always does every Wednesday.
I forget.
Yeah, but I saw it saying Zach Martin is a loyal player, so I'm like, okay, hold on, there has to be something going on.
Well, didn't Zach Martin say that he's going to hold out?
Yeah, well, not hold out, but I think he's skipping practice.
Yeah. So what I read today, I didn't read the whole article. Pretty much just saw a blip of it. And again, it's no offense because I do love football first, and I will look at stuff that pertains to any team. Yeah. But what I read and what I got out of it was that Zach Martin wasn't happy with where his contract was.
Yeah.
And that he wants to renegotiate, and it doesn't seem like the Cowboys want to do that. So he's basically saying he's ready to sit out till they take him seriously or till they start talking to him about that contract.
Yeah.
My feeling on that is, and take it as you want. Anybody in here, take it as you want. This is how I feel about contracts. If you sign a contract, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth. You basically said at that time that for this amount of years, each year I'm going to accept this amount of money. That's an agreement. That's what you said. Nobody said, oh, if you become a Pro Bowler, you get this. Those are called incentives. So if that's not in your contract, sit down, shut up, and play for what you signed on. I cannot stand when players, and this includes Giants, I cannot stand players that'll sign a contract and then want to renegotiate because they made the Pro Bowl. Well, if there was a thought, if you believed in yourself that much, you should have made that known when you were ready to sign your contract that you had signed already. When you sign, and this is where I back the owners, when you sign that contract, you basically say, that's what I'm going to do for that amount of years. That's it. So I think the owners bend a knee a little bit to some of these players because they're afraid of them sitting out or whatever. My feeling on that is sit out. You'll get fined and you won't get paid because you are under contract. So not only now are you going to miss out of the money that you're getting for the season, you're also going to get fined. So now you're negative in, you're making your pay negative.
Yeah.
So I have no sympathy, whether it's a Giant, any team, any of the 32 teams. I have no sympathy for you. I don't care. You signed a contract, live up to it. If you make it to that end of the contract and you think you got exactly, Robert, I'm sorry, exactly. Honor your contract. Because I'll tell you what, can an owner negotiate if you're a piece of shit after they give you a nice big contract? The answer to that is no. Can they cut you? Absolutely. But again, that's something you have to deal with and restructure or restructure if you don't agree with the contract. You say something along the lines of, if God forbid I get cut, I still get this amount of money. And that's what guarantees are for. So when you sign something and you're guaranteed this much, don't expect more.
Yeah.
And just like the owners, they're willing to guarantee you this much money. So that means whether you play good or whether you play bad, you're getting that much money. And then they cut you, you're still getting that much money. So don't expect the owners to jump out of their skin because you think your contract should be changed. If I was an owner, thank God I'm not, but if I was an owner and one of my players, whether it's the best player on the team or the worst player on the team, came up to me and said, I've been doing pretty well. I want to renegotiate my contract. You know what my answer to that is?
No. Or that too.
That's my answer. My answer is talk to your agents that probably got you to come here and say this bullshit to me to begin with. And you can tell them what I told you. And you don't even have to say a word. That's it. I'm sick of these freaking people, man. They make me so sick. I'm pissed about it. Can I renegotiate my contract? Stick it up your ass. That's what you can do. You can renegotiate with your butthole. But yeah, I'm sorry, Dash. I went on a little bit of a tangent.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying. For me, it's just that I would hate to lose him.
Yeah, no,
he's been our best guard ever since.
No, and I agree with that. I have no problem with that. I have no problem. He has been worth his contract. But again, it's your contract. Yes, you're a great player, but you lived up to your contract. I'm not going to pay you more because you think you deserve more. Guess what? You signed a contract. That's it.
Yeah.
So, what else you got for me? Got anything else?
Again, haven't been with the news lately, so nothing much. Just ready for week 1 to beat you guys' asses.
Me too. I'm actually kind of. So part of me, I've seen reports that the Giants training camp, to which they're selling tickets to now, it's always been open to the public.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden they're selling tickets, and I get it. You want to make money. I don't have a problem with it. And most of the people that bought these tickets don't have a problem with it either. So who am I, right? But I have seen that they sold out. I did see that some people that have bought these tickets are putting tickets up online. So if I have a chance to go, maybe I'm still laid off next week, I may actually roll up there and see what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's what's this one say? I don't know who wrote this. It says, you're exactly right. Some players become greedy and don't think about the team. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. And again, it doesn't even have anything to do with the team. It's as simple as you sign the contract, sit down, and shut up. That's really the gist of it. John says, oh, this is for me. Sorry. I'll get back to that. But yeah, if you don't have anything else, Dash, man, I appreciate you coming on. And again, you're another one of the guys that comes in here. And again, you're not a Giants fan, you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. One of the few I actually like because you call it like it is, which I do with the Giants. So I can honestly say, as much of a Giants fan as I am, And as much as a Cowboys fan as you are, I wouldn't call either of us biased because we don't go that extreme like, Sneaky G or Positive Philly do.
Yeah.
It's a little
Like
bit of a delusion, but it is what it is. I saw
like
that,
you,
Mike.
like I would like to see the Cowboys go 17-0, but realistically, that's not going to happen.
And I agree with you, man. I feel the same way about the Giants. We all want our teams to do well, and I do believe that the Giants are headed in the right direction. I do believe if Saquon doesn't play, it's going to be a bit of a setback, but I think they'd be okay. I don't think they'd be great, but I think they'd be okay. So
yeah. Also, I don't know if you saw my Giants prediction, but I have you guys going 7-10. I feel like
it's a
that
possibility.
I think that I should have gone a bit higher for this, but
Hey, you feel how you feel, man, and you know what? The biased Giants fan in me says, "Nah, we'll be over 500 at least." But the non-biased Giants fan says, "You know what? We do have the third toughest schedule in the league this year, and if we don't have Saquon, yeah, I can see us having a bit of a losing record. I really could."
yeah.
And again, my thoughts on this year are literally, again, because we were surprised last year about how good we did and where we went to. But again, I'm going to go with my same prediction as last year. I'm not going to give you an actual game prediction, but I'm going to say this: 500 we can't do anymore. But if we're over 500, I'm pleasantly surprised because again, from the year before last, which I don't want to call last year a fluke, and this year I think we'll find out. If they get 500, a little over 500, we're still moving in the right direction. We're far removed from 4-12 or 11 or 5-11, all that stuff. So we're definitely better than that.
Yeah, and what I've also been doing for my predictions is I also been flipping a coin because the past 2 years I've seen other people do flip a coin, and those coin predictions were almost correct.
Right.
So the coin also predicted you guys to go 7-10.
All right, hey, it's definitely feasible. Again, we have a tough schedule ahead of us, and that's what I like about the Giants. John is saying he thinks we're going to go 11-6. Hey, I'm on board, man. I'm not going to say no to that.
That could be your ceiling. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Listen, last year, as far as being a Giants fan, last year proved that anything can happen with anybody. Because again, as much as our Giants fans, our fans, shit on Daniel Jones and want to say that Saquon Barkley is the whole offense, us football fans know that that's crock of shit. And we also know that Daniel Jones did take a step forward, a big step forward. But we also can say that without Saquon, we're not as good. We can be good, but we're not as good without Saquon.
Yeah.
So, all right, Dash, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. I always appreciate you. You're a good dude overall. And hopefully I'll see you next week and maybe tomorrow night on Sneaky Show, man. So I appreciate you, brother.
You're welcome.
All right, man. You have a good night.
You too.
All right, later, buddy. All right, we're going to bring on one of my favorites. And I do love Mike. That's why I bust his balls probably more than anybody else in here, especially considering he's an Eagles fan. And even more so concerning the fact that he probably only lives about 20 minutes from me, and we still haven't met each other. But we will, Mike. We will, because I do believe you're a good dude. Just like Jamie, Philly sports guy, great dude. An ass when it comes to teams, but I wouldn't expect any more, or any less, I should say. But Mike, let's bring Mike in. Positive Philly. What's up, brother?
What's up, bro? I'm always up. I'm always up at the early tailgates. It sucks we play each other so late in the season. I say, I usually go to a lot of the early ones. I'd say pull up and we could meet.
Listen, man, I really, really, like I said, one of my daughter's best friends is an Eagles cheerleader, so I can get tickets. The problem is this year with the Giants playing there, it's freaking on Christmas, dude. My family will not accept that.
Dude, I know. I don't want to I'd say if I don't know why we always play each other so late in the season. I'd be pull up 4th and John, come, have a good time.
Yeah. Well, you know what the problem is? Check this out. So this is what I was thinking back to that. And I agree with what you're saying. We always end up playing Philly later in the year. And it's usually a couple weeks out. So we'll play Philly now. And then 4 weeks from now, we're playing Philly again. If you think about it, I don't know how much you follow the Giants. I'm assuming you don't. But the Giants have felt the same way about the Dallas thing. I think over the last, I want to say 7-8 years, 5 of those years, we've played Dallas week 1.
Right.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's nuts. I appreciate it, but if I'm really being a Giants fan, I want to play the Cowboys week 4, week 5, or anything after that. Anybody in our division, I want to pay after week 5 because then we know what kind of team we are. those
Right.
first couple weeks, yeah, you can come out all fired up and everything, and then come week 4, week 5, you're not as good.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So what's going on, brother?
Nothing. So I'm not gonna ask Sneaky this because he's just gonna be silly and say 17 now. But honestly, I want to know, what is your honest, unbiased prediction for the Giants this year?
Can I do a with and without Saquon?
No, just assuming Saquon plays week 1.
Okay, assuming Saquon plays week 1,
because I think he's going to.
I say we make the playoffs, and whether it's a wild card or not, I don't know. But I could see us winning 10 games. I could see us winning 10. And again, I'm trying not to be a biased Giants fan, but because we have the 3rd toughest schedule in the league, I am not one of those people that makes.
Who do you guys play
about that? I don't know right off the bat. I don't have it up. But I do remember. I will remember forever that we have the 3rd hardest schedule in the league this year, and I'm fine with that. I'm never going to duck that, whether we're good or whether we're bad. To me, that gives us as Giants fans an even bigger reason to puff our chests if we get through this year with a winning record, because then it's like last year was, okay, are we good enough? And we were pretty good. We made the playoffs. A year like this year, with having the 3rd hardest schedule, basically confirms that we were good last year, but then also lets us Giants fans know that we are definitely going in the right direction, and we can definitely play with any team in this league, let alone our division. So yeah, I would definitely want that. And if, hey, listen, I'm one of those guys that, let's say you have the most dominant team in the league, which the Eagles basically were last year. I don't deny that. And let's say, now coaches don't like this shit, but again, I'm not a coach, and if I was, other coaches would probably hate me. If I'm running up points on your team, you know what I say to that when the coaches come to me and say that's disrespectful? I say this, then maybe you should teach your team to be a better team. If I'm going to expose a team for how bad they are, I'm going to do it to the 10th degree, because I'm not going to slow down how good my team is for the lack of how good your team is.
Right.
That's a you problem, not me. And I don't have a problem with that. But I do think if Saquon's on the team, I can see us winning 10 games. More, yes, possible. Less, yes, possible. But if you're asking me now, gun to my head, what I think if Saquon's on the team, I'm going to say at least 10 wins.
Gotcha.
Now, I'm not, again, you know me. I'm not going to go overboard and say 17-0. That's just not what I do. Sneaky is a great guy. I love him to death. And I understand the positive vibes, but I'm a realist.
I understand.
I see what I see. Based on last year and how good we were, I think we can make the playoffs. We're gonna see just how good with the 3rd hardest schedule in the league. And again, this is the problem I have with and it's another. It ties into, how much I hate the words on paper, right? So this ties into that. On paper, we have these guys. We have more weapons for Daniel. Saquon's going to be Saquon, and our defense is definitely looking better. But till you put it on the field, you really don't know. So, and that's my opinion on it. Again, that's why I don't like giving predictions. But again, gun to my head, I'm going to say we'll win 10 games.
Yeah.
So and I'm not going to ask you because you're along the lines with Sneaky.
No, I'm not. I mean,
well, you are. You're not going to say that you're going to go undefeated. But you have said numerous times you're going back.
We are.
Okay, and that's a biased opinion.
Who's stopping us?
I already told you last night. I think Detroit's going to stop you. I think Detroit is going to be the surprise team of the league this year.
They might be the surprise team of the league, but they're going to have, the script's probably already out for next season. They probably only have them going to the divisional round of the playoffs. Let's give it. Come on.
I think Detroit has the players they need.
You think they're going to the fucking Super Bowl?
No, but I think they can stop the Eagles from doing that.
No, they can't.
I do. I think they're that team that, again,
don't
have to be great. They don't have to be great. We've all heard of the trap game, right? They could be the Eagles' trap team in the playoffs. It happens. I can see it happening. And again, I'm not saying the Eagles are going to the playoffs, but I'm not saying they're not.
Yeah.
We all know how much I hate the Eagles. I'd love to sit here and go, they're not going to win a damn game this year. That's just not who I am. But if I had it my way, they wouldn't win a damn game ever.
Of course.
And Sneaky hates when I say this. I'd root for Dallas over Philly any day of the week. I hate Philly more than any other team in the league. And I've said this before. You know what the greatest Cowboys-Eagles game would be?
What?
And I'm probably going to get shit for this. I'm not going to put it that way because that's probably pretty harsh. But if while both teams were coming out of the tunnel, the stadium collapsed.
Bro.
That would be the best thing for every other fan in the league.
That's messed up.
More so myself. But again, I'm taking Dallas over Philly any day of the week. And it's nothing against you. I've learned to love and respect Philly fans.
Yep.
And I've always said this, as much as I've hated the Philly fans, even at my worst when it comes to Philly fans, I have always said and say to this day that Philly fans are probably the most loyal fans in football.
Did you see your daddy got engaged?
My dad's dead. What are you talking about?
Boston Scott, the Giants. I'm sorry, I should have rephrased that. The Giants daddy got engaged.
That's what you're coming with, dude.
I'm just saying. I just thought of it.
My daddy?
The Giants daddy.
Don't say my daddy.
These Giants.
And he's not the Giants daddy either. He's been in the league. He's been a thorn in the Giants' side for the past 2 years. Beyond that, he's been nothing.
He owns the Giants.
For 2 years? That's not owning somebody.
He does.
That's being a thorn in the side, and that's what he is. I won't deny that. He's not their daddy.
Yes, he is.
All right, I'll give you an example of what daddy is. The Giants, when it comes to the Patriots, the Giants are the Patriots' daddy.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, I wouldn't call Boston Scott the Giants' daddy. I would definitely call him a thorn in the side because he is a problem, but he's definitely not the Giants' daddy. Ever. I've actually come to my senses this year because the question has been posed to me year after year after year. Would you ever wear an Eagles jersey? And if so, who would it be? My answer used to be nobody. I would never wear an Eagles jersey. But because I live in the Philadelphia area and I have followed the Eagles and I do recognize greatness when I see it, I would probably wear. Well, see, I wouldn't wear Reggie White's jersey, but I would wear it if it was his Packers jersey. I would, in his honor, I would wear a Jerome Brown jersey. And of the more recent players not playing today, I'd probably wear a Brian Dawkins jersey. I love the way he played. But I have to say this. You want to call somebody daddy? Jeremy Shockey was Brian Dawkins' daddy.
That's your favorite Giant?
It is. But even if he wasn't, he's probably the one player that owned Brian Dawkins when they played.
I'll have to watch highlights.
Yeah, you do.
Brian Dawkins is the one player that I like. I mean, I saw like a little bit of him, but he's like the one player that I never really saw play, but I loved.
No, Brian Dawkins was a beast, dude. He ranks up there. So if you want to talk about safeties, he ranks up there with the Ed Reeds, the Troy Polamalu's, guys like that. He's right up there with them guys.
He's like one of like the nicest guys too. I hear people say like great things about him.
Yeah, you can't help but like a guy like that. Like even Dash said, I wouldn't say that either, Dash. I would probably never say this because I don't think that's correct at all. He's probably one of the players you could say is the Giants' daddy because he just hasn't lost to the Giants. Their backup has while he was a quarterback, but Dak is not the NFC East daddy. He's just not. Dak isn't even his own daddy, so you can relax with that one.
What do we so next year we'll be celebrating the 30th anniversary and it's crazy.
Well, no, to be the 29th.
Yeah, I'm saying next season it's gonna be 30.
Oh, next season after this season, yeah.
29, but then it's crazy. We're gonna be celebrating 29 this year, then 30 next year.
I'll tell you what, I am with Sneaky. I hope that the Giants, with or without Saquon, beat Dallas at home week 1. That would be so cool.
I'm a Giants fan twice a year.
There you go. I hate to say it, but I'll never be a Philly fan ever. My son gives me shit because I tried doing that reverse psychology thing during the Super Bowl last year. He says I'm full of shit. I don't think I am, but I had the Eagles colors on my house 2 weeks prior, and then the night of, I changed them to the Chiefs colors.
Because you live in the area, okay?
Well, that too. I kind of part of me was saying, okay, support your neighbors, and then the other part was that's why I changed it Super Bowl night to the Chiefs, because I didn't want to see Philly win. And my favorite part of the Super Bowl isn't necessarily that the Chiefs beat the Eagles. It's the fact that it took two former Giants to do it. Bradbury with the bad hold, and then probably one of the people I hate the most in the league because he's a jackass, Kadarius Toney with the big run. Or the big kickoff run.
That was a waste of a pick for you guys, honestly.
Oh, yeah. But listen, it's part of the Dave Gettleman thing, and at this point, it is what it is.
What do you think? How are the Yankees doing? They doing good?
No.
They're in last place, but we're still like 6 games above 500.
There you go.
So it just goes to show our division's pretty good overall. But until Judge comes back and they get rid of some of these freaking geriatric guys like Josh Donaldson, and I'd love to get – I like Giancarlo Stanton, but as much as I love him, I'd like to get rid of him, but they can't because that contract is killing us. He's getting like $35 million a year, which is ridiculous. He's not doing nothing but getting hurt every other game. I still like Harrison Bader. I think that Gleyber Torres needs to be traded, especially now because he's been doing really good the last few weeks.
What's he play?
He's second base. So
Can he play first?
Huh?
Can he play first?
I don't think we need him on first. We got Anthony Rizzo.
No, I mean I'd take him.
Oh, for your team?
Yeah.
Well, who's playing first for you guys?
Right now we have Derek Hall.
So Schwarber's not playing first?
Yeah, Schwarber's in the field.
And what's going on with Hoskins?
He's been hurt all year with an ACL.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know if he could play first. But what would you guys have to offer for him, though? Because we're looking for players.
I don't know. We just
I'll take Trey Turner.
Yeah, your ass.
Exactly.
That's he's locked up for the rest of his life.
I hear you.
Well,
I'll take Harper.
I just got he's going to be getting Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, I saw that. Saw that today.
Sucks. We won't be seeing him till like 2025. But yeah, they're good right now. I'll tell you, we're looking like we can repeat.
So that's the thing with the Phillies. Like I've always said this, like there are 2 teams in Philly I don't hate, and in fact I root for them from time to time. It's the Phillies and the Sixers. I have no hate for them. The only time I really hate them is if they're playing the Yankees or the Knicks. If they're not, I'm okay with them. I'll root for them. So I don't have no ill will towards the Phillies at all. I like to see them do well. What's that?
Like so you root for them last year?
Yeah, I root for them. If they were playing the Yankees, I wouldn't. But yeah, no, I rooted for them last year. I'd love to see them. If the Yankees ain't going to get there, I'd love to see the Phillies win. I wouldn't mind that. My buddies might say different because they're Mets fans. They would sit there and go, "Oh, you're a New York guy. You got to root for the Mets." No, I hate the Mets.
I got you.
Eat it, But yeah, and the Sixers I like, and I'll like the Sixers even more when they trade Joel Embiid to the Knicks this year, which will be awesome for us.
Bro, I'm hearing Harden's going to stay now. Like this dude needs to make up his mind on what he's doing. Like
I thought he already agreed to leave.
I don't know. Like now I'm hearing reports like he's going to be with come with practice at camp or whatever. Or, like at this point he wants to go to freaking LA. Just do it. We can get Paul George. Like
yeah. Oh, the Clippers, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let him go to the Clippers. I can't stand Harden. He's one of those players, you love him in the regular season. He's, like, outstanding. But you get him in the playoffs. And it's like we should sit his ass.
I mean, yeah, it was nice we got him. But, like, now, like, he's not – like, I don't feel like he's not going to be that good this year.
Yeah, I don't think so either. He's getting close to the end of his
Embiid's comment, though, what he had to say?
Nah, I didn't say it.
He was like, I want to win. I want to win a championship, whether that's with Philly or any other team.
Yeah, that's his way of saying he doesn't mind being traded.
Yeah,
that's why I keep busting your chops and saying, yeah, we'll appreciate Philly more when he's on the Knicks.
He wouldn't go to the Knicks.
I think he would. I think he would. I think we're one superstar away from being a championship contender.
Who would we get out of that?
Probably some picks. Maybe R.J. Barrett, quickly. We already traded Toppin, which I was pissed about.
There's people who never win a championship.
We'd probably throw Evan Fournier at you. we try to get rid of some of the shitty contracts, but give you guys still some compensation in the process. But yeah, I mean, I think you could get something for him. I'm not going to say that he's not worth anything. I mean, clearly he's the MVP of last season. Which brings up another show I want to have, and I could probably do an hour on that alone, which is they shouldn't announce MVP till after the finals are over.
Yeah.
So
stupid because like, Embiid, who was MVP? Embiid was MVP, but Jokic like deserved it again this year.
Yeah,
he proved that.
But again, if you think about it, if you look at the season, I think it could have went either way, Jokic or Embiid. But then when you go to the playoffs, that's when Jokic proved that he's probably a better or a more worthy MVP than Embiid was. Yeah. And that's why I say those kinds of awards should wait till after the season's over. That's why in hockey, and again, I've become a huge, huge hockey fan over the last few years. I can't stand the President's Trophy. I think they should throw that in the freaking trash. What good is being the best team in the league the whole year and then getting bounced from the playoffs in the first or second round? Yeah. It's garbage. It's basically what it is. It's a participation trophy. And I can't stand that shit. I've told it's a good example is we went to a tournament and we got second place and my son got a pretty nice trophy. We got home and he threw it in the garbage. I said, "What'd you do that for?" He goes, "We didn't earn it. We didn't get first place." He goes, "I don't want this. I raised me a good son, man." Right, bud?
Yes, sir.
Hammer sitting here. You want to come in and say hi to everybody?
Oh, man.
So this is Mike. Dash is in the background. We got a couple people on Facebook checking you out.
What's up, boys? How we doing?
This is my youngest child, guys. He just turned 20 last week.
Mm-hmm.
So
I hope everyone's night.
Mike's a little slow. You got to say it again.
Slow.
What's up, man?
How's everyone's night going?
Chilling.
Good.
Yeah?
Good.
Your dad's giving me shit, as always.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Well, if I wasn't here, he'd give you shit, too.
Nah.
He's a little more lenient than I am, though.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. He's not a big fan of Daniel Jones.
If he's giving you shit, imagine what it's like being his son.
Yeah, see?
No, sorry. I feel bad for you.
What did he say?
These can both kiss my ass. He goes, I can imagine. I feel bad for you. Dick.
Yeah,
I love you, Mike.
Speaking of meeting up, are you still into like country music and shit? Like,
yeah.
You're not.
We were just listening to. I was cooking out on the grill tonight. Me and my son were out there having some drinks, listening to more.
You're not going to Luke Combs, are you?
Is he sold out yet? I was thinking about it.
No, I was gonna say if you're not going.
When is that?
There's 2 nights, the 28th and the 29th.
Oh, I might have to look into that. Because my wife has never been to a concert. I'd like to take her to one.
She like him?
Yeah, we were gonna go see. Last year we were gonna go see Chris Stapleton, but then everybody backed out. I don't like going to stuff like that by myself. Oh, here goes a good football question. Not to get out of like we've been to get out of what we're supposed to be talking about. Do we still have Leonard Williams? Yes. And I'm glad you bring that up because Leonard Williams, although I like him, I hope he stays with the Giants. If they're not going to offer him a lot when his contract's up. But his contract right now is pissing me off because he is one of those guys that said before the season ended he would be okay with restructuring his contract, to which nothing's been done. And right now, he is a huge cap casualty to us because his cap hit to us this year is $32.5 million. It's a lot. I think that money right there. Now, if people that want to blame Daniel Jones and or Dexter Lawrence for Saquon not getting his money, you need to switch that energy over to Leonard Williams because he's probably the guy. If you want to blame anybody, and I don't blame him either, but if you want to blame somebody, that's the guy you want to blame because he's literally said on camera in the news, I wouldn't be opposed to talking about a restructure so I can stay here, but nothing's been done. So what does that mean? Maybe he wasn't as into restructuring, or maybe his agents talked him out of it. Robert says, time for bed. Have a good night. Work early tomorrow morning. Robert, man, I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you coming on. Continue to do so. I will be back here Wednesday night for sure. You guys can all also check me out Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. For the most part, I'll be on Sneaky G-Man's show. Kudos to him. Shout outs to Sneaky G-Man. He's a good dude. He's a great show. He's part of the reason I do this. Him and my son actually talked me into doing this stuff, and I'm appreciating it because I do have some people out here that actually enjoy what I say. So, Robert, again, good night, brother, and we'll talk to you soon. Donovan says, so they couldn't have restructured his contract and paid Barkley a little bit more. Well, that's what I'm saying, Donovan. I think if he would have restructured his contract already, that some of that money could have definitely been thrown at Saquon, 100%. Right now, we are under the cap by I think it's a little over than $3 million, maybe $4 million. So we are over the cap a little bit, but they want to build on that. I don't know if it's for something that can be used this year, maybe, but definitely for next year. And again, going into next year, which is part of the reason maybe they didn't want to. And again, I don't care who you are. Daniel Jones did not get overpaid. You can kiss my ass if you want to say otherwise. I'm not buying it. He got paid very well. He probably got paid more than I would have paid him, but I don't think he got overpaid. And if he did, it wasn't by a lot. Because if you think about it, the market for quarterbacks, it was like $35 to $38 million. So the fact that he got like $2 million over that, and actually, if you really look at the ins and outs of his contract, he's only touted to make about $38 million a year. That other $2 million each year are incentives. So, and again, he can be dropped after 2 years. So people want to dwell on, it's 4 years, $160 million. No, it's not. It's 2 years. And whatever he got guaranteed plus whatever he makes for those 2 years. So, but again, we'll go back to, Leonard Williams could be part of the big reason that Saquon didn't get his extra $1 to $2 million, which has been reported, but none of it's been confirmed. So again, people that want to go to, he was offered $13 million. He was offered $13 million with incentives to make 14. He was offered 14. Listen, that may be true, but it's never been confirmed. So I'm not going to confirm it. The only thing I do know for 100% is that in the bye week last year, he was offered 12.5. And part of the reason I know that was it was confirmed by the NFL, but it was also confirmed in Saquon's latest interview that that's what they offered him. So as far as I'm concerned, that's the only thing he's been offered. I do not know until it comes out what the negotiations were, what caused him from signing, what caused the Giants from maybe going up a little bit more. And my thing is, everybody keeps saying, he's only $1 to $2 million apart. I'm finding that a little hard because $1 to $2 million in this league with these ownerships doesn't seem like a lot to come up or down from. It just doesn't to me. Maybe I'm not seeing something. Of course, I'm not an owner or a coach or a GM or none of that. I'm a fan just like most of you guys. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I can only give you guys the info that I get, and I tend or try not to report anything if I don't have some sort of confirmation behind it at all. And by confirmation, I mean if it doesn't come down from NFL Network, if it's not reported by Ian Rappaport or Mike Garafolo or Adam Schefter or any of those guys, if it's not reported by them, chances are it's not true. So I tend to stay away from that stuff. But again, when you're talking about the Saquon Barkley situation, the only thing I know for sure is that during the bye week last year, he was offered $12.5 million. I don't know for how long. I don't know what the incentives were. I don't know. I don't know how long that contract was. Nothing. All I know is he was offered $12.5 million a year. That's it. So, I got this dash. I got this Starbucks $5 gift card. What drink should I get? So, I would say the strawberry acai refresher, and that's because that's my favorite drink.
Never get Starbucks, bro.
I don't like Starbucks coffee. Their coffee I won't drink. When it comes to coffee or iced coffee, so coffee, hot coffee, huge fan of Wawa. Huge fan.
I don't even drink coffee. Like,
really? But iced coffee, I'm a Dunkin' guy.
I don't need it. Like, I don't do anything during the day like that. I need it.
How old are you?
20. I'll be 21 in September.
Okay. All right. My son drinks black coffee. That I don't get that either. I gotta have some cream in mine. But he's a weirdo. He drinks black coffee.
That's what my dad.
Your dad drinks black coffee?
Yeah.
I've tried it just to see what it's like. It's just nah. I need some kind of flavor in there. It just doesn't work. Random, but I hate we traded Hill to Cincinnati. Donovan, which Hill are you talking about? I'm a little lost on that one. Let me know, brother, so I can comment or not comment on it. I didn't know we traded anybody to Cincinnati, did we? Yeah, I don't know. And I'm referring to the Giants, of course. I don't know if you're talking baseball or not, or Philly. Or basketball. I'm not sure of.
Philly's lost. They better win tomorrow. I'm going to be there.
I'm pretty sure the Yankees will lose tonight. They're on a phenomenal losing streak.
I don't know how they lost. They're like the fourth best team in baseball. We shouldn't be losing games like that.
Listen, without Aaron Judge, we ain't nothing, and they've proven that this year.
He's out for the rest of the year too, right? Though.
I heard today. Actually, saw a report today that he today he was taking fielding balls and taking batting practice. So if nothing happened and it didn't set him back today, that could be good news that he's on his way back. I was talking to somebody. Oh, BJ Hill. Yeah, you're talking a couple of years ago. Oh, yeah. Listen, we've lost a lot of good defensive players. You can talk about Dalvin Tomlinson, who I love because he made Leonard Williams that much better. And I think he would have been phenomenal with Dexter Lawrence as well. Trying to think of some other defensive players, linemen that we lost. I mean, the Giants are Linval Joseph, who, when became a free agent, went to the Minnesota Vikings, had a really good career with them. He's another one. Now, there are rumors out there that Justin Pugh may come back to the Giants, which would definitely be an upgrade. He's a legitimate veteran. He's played with the Giants before, obviously not under this regime. He has made a Pro Bowl as an offensive lineman. So if anything, at the very least, his expertise would definitely be useful for the Giants, and especially with the new guys, they brought in. So, Mike, before I let you go, man, any last words? Anything you want to get off your chest?
I don't think so, man. Training camp starts next week. I'm excited for that.
You guys start on the 26th as well?
Tuesday, 25th.
Oh, okay, so you guys start a day before the Giants do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll need it. So, all right, Mike, man, I appreciate you coming on, brother. I love you. Got nothing but love for you. Hate your teams, but it's okay. You have a good night, man. I'll talk to you soon. So that was Mike, everyone. So unless anybody else unless anybody else wants to come in, have any more comments. Oh, wait, Dash has a comment. New York Giants traded defensive lineman B.J. Hill and a conditional 2022 7th-round pick to the Bengals for offensive line. Oh, I do remember that. And Price was good for about a year. After that, I can't remember what the hell he did. But pretty much it. All right, with that, guys, I'm noticing I guess still got 5 people in here, which is nice. But I'm going to end it right now. So an hour and a half wasn't bad. I've been doing an hour. And like I said, eventually I'm going to get back to the 2-hour show. But for now, I'm going to end that for the night. Donovan says Hill is a stud to them. And again, which is why I hated that we lost him. But again, guys, I appreciate everybody for coming on. Thanks for another great show. This one brings me back because the last couple shows have been a little slow. Even today, I haven't put out there. I usually go to Facebook and YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff and put a live reminding people, hey, I got a show tonight. If you want to check it out, come on, stop in for a few minutes, whatever. I didn't do that today. And the fact that I got, I think it was just north of 12 people in tonight, it's definitely a step in the right direction of getting people back. So, again, I appreciate everybody. Till next week or tomorrow's show with Sneaky G-Man. If I don't see you, have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. If you're on my Facebook pages, look forward to my lives. I go live mostly on the New York Football Giants fans page, but I do go live as well on the Giants family page. So come check them out. The Giants family page is something that Sneaky G-Man and I created together. He actually started it, but he asked me to come in and help him out, which I'm still doing. I'm probably going to be moving a lot of my lives over there because there are some things that in the New York Football Giants fans page that the administrators want to do, which I'm involved. These guys are great. And we'll see what comes from that. I'm not going to announce anything right now, but there are some big things coming. Again, man, thanks for everything you guys do. Thanks for, bigging me up when you can and coming out and checking out the show, man. Hopefully I give you guys, some advice, some information maybe you haven't heard. And I look forward to keep doing the same. Until next week, guys, I appreciate everybody in here. Can't say it enough. Love yous all. Peace.
Ain't this the hardest you ever heard? Ain't this the hardest you ever heard? Bass make my face hurt. Shake break my framework when the bass jerk like quick.